Jimmy was not a rapper then.
Right.
He was your man, like on the side, like in the side, just he was not a rapper at all.
Right.
So when Ballin' took place, and I'm looking and I'm going, oh, he having a moment. That's the Lloyd Banks. It's Lloyd Banks thing.
The internet is on fire tonight because what just went down between 50 Cent and Jim Jones isn't just beef. It's an all-out war. The kind of feud that makes you question what's real, what's revenge, and what's about to explode next. It started with one cryptic post from 50 Jest, a black and white photo. It's no caption, followed by a skull emoji, and the words, "He knows what he did." Within minutes, the hip-hop world froze. Comment sections flooded. Twitter went into meltdown. And then, the warning message dropped on a private audio clip. Allegedly leaked from inside G-Unit's circle. Hit the webband in it, you can hear 50's voice. Cold as ice saying, if he wants smoke, he'd better bring oxygen. Fans were stunned. What happened? Why now? What does 50 know that Jim Jones doesn't want out? But it didn't stop there. A mysterious Instagram live from Jim's camp surfaced moments later, someone laughing in the background. Someone saying he's bluffing. Then Boom 50 posts again. A video this time. No words. Just that chilling stare straight into the camera and the caption, "This ain't 2005 anymore." The music industry hasn't seen tension like this since. The early 2000s and insiders are whispering that this time, it's personal betrayal. Money, loyalty shattered. Every second feels like it's building to something. It's catastrophic. And just when you think you've seen it, all one message leaks that changes everything. You won't believe who sent it. The moment that warning message hit the internet, everything changed. You could feel the energy shift like the calm before a storm that's about to rip through hip-hop's entire foundation. Within an hour, fan theories, burner accounts, and supposed insider DMs flooded social media. But one post stood out, a mysterious tweet from a verified but recently created account called @QueensInformer. It read, "This isn't just rap beef. Someone crossed the line. 50's not playing this time." Attached was a 15-second audio clip. Muffled, distorted, but chilling. A man's voice that sounded unmistakably like Jim Jones saying he was never loyal. He did what he always does, uses people. That clip detonated like a bomb. Within minutes, 50 verses. Jim was trending #1 worldwide. YouTube channels, gossip pages, and even mainstream outlets scrambled to decode what it meant. But before anyone could piece it together, 50 went live on Instagram, his face half-lit, his tone calm but dangerous. "They think it's funny," he said. "They think this is a joke. But I got receipts. And when I drop them, everybody gonna see who the real snake is." Then he ended the live abruptly. No outro, no smile. Just silence. That's when the leak started to spiral out of control. Screenshots supposedly from a private group chat between industry heavyweights started circulating. The names were blurred, but one line stood out. "We warned him not to cross Curtis. Now it's too late." Insiders began hinting that Jim Jones had been sitting on a massive secret for years, something involving one old G-Unit business deals that never saw daylight. And then a voice memo leaked. Not from 50, not from Jim, from someone deep in the mix. The file was labeled simply JJ_recording_2016. When fans played it, the internet nearly imploded. It was Jim Jones, apparently in a heated conversation, yelling, "He took my idea, made it his, and tried to bury me with it. You think I forgot? Nah, he gon' feel it." The speculation turned into obsession. Reddit threads dissected every syllable. Some said it was fake AI generated. Others swore it was authentic, claiming the background noise matched a known New York studio frequented by Dipset. One supposed former engineer even posted, "I was there. I heard the original version. It's real." But here's where things went nuclear. Out of nowhere, a clip surfaced from a podcast recorded years ago, never aired. Featuring a conversation between 50 Cent and a well-known journalist. In the unreleased segment, 50 allegedly said, There's one dude I'll never forgive. One dude who tried to set me up. And then, when pressed, he leaned forward and whispered a name that was bleeped out. But lip readers didn't need sound. The name was clear. Jim Jones. The discovery sent fans into hysteria. TikTokers slowed down the clip frame by frame, exposing every micro-expression. Twitter exploded with memes, theories, and think pieces. But before anyone could settle the debate, 50 posted again a cryptic tweet that read, "He tried to make me the villain, but now the villain's telling the truth." The next day, everything escalated. TMZ reported that someone close to Jim Jones's inner circle had come forward anonymously, claiming there were more tapes, messages, screenshots, and videos that would end careers. That same night, Jim Jones went live on Instagram. The energy was chaotic. You could hear people in the background telling him to chill. Just leave it alone, but he wasn't having it. "Y'all believe anything?" he shouted. "This man's been obsessed with me for decades. I've got no beef with him, but if he wants smoke, he's gonna get it. You think I'm scared of a meme rapper? I'm from Harlem, bro. We built different, but as Jim ranted, viewers noticed something strange. The comments were filled with burner accounts posting the same phrase over and over. Check your DMs. Within minutes, Jim's expression shifted. His face went from fury to confusion. He stopped mid-sentence, looked off camera, and said, "Wait, how did they get that?" Then he ended the live abruptly. The internet erupted. Fans speculated that Jim had just seen a leak drop in real time. Seconds later, screenshots started circulating alleged DMs between Jim and a major label executive, suggesting backroom deals, ghostwriting arrangements, and a shocking claim that 50's empire show concept was originally pitched by someone in Jim's crew years before. The alleged texts read, "Jim, he took my idea, changed the details, and sold it. You know that, right? Exec, we all knew, but he had power. You didn't." The posts vanished minutes later, but it was too late. Fans had screen recorded everything. 50 stayed silent. No comment. No denial. Just that terrifying stillness that always comes before he strikes. And then came the midnight warning. A mysterious video appeared on YouTube under an account named The Curtis Files. Black background. White text. A robotic voice saying, "If you knew what he did, you'd understand why the warning was necessary." Then, at the 12-second mark, a flash of a document, an old G-Unit contract, and a single line highlighted intellectual property reassignment clause. That one phrase sent the internet into chaos. Industry insiders claimed it meant someone's ideas, possibly a show or project, were taken, reassigned, and sold without credit. Suddenly, this wasn't just beef, it was corporate warfare. Betrayal on $1 million scale. But the craziest part, the document looked authentic. The signatures, the dates. Even the watermark matched old G-Unit filings. Journalists started digging, and one entertainment reporter tweeted, "If this is real, it's one of the biggest betrayals in modern hip-hop history." Jim Jones broke his silence again, posting a single cryptic Instagram story. He knows what he stole. Within minutes, 50 replied with a video, a clip of him laughing while counting stacks of cash, with the caption, "You talk too much." Fans were torn. Was this trolling or something darker? Then, at 3 a.m., an unverified account leaked what appeared to be a recorded phone call. The voice, allegedly 50's, says, "Tell him I got everything." The comment section exploded. Celebrities started picking sides. Fat Joe commented with a cryptic eye emoji. Remy Ma posted, "It's always the ones closest." Even Busta Rhymes jumped in, writing, "History repeats itself, but this time, somebody's not walking away clean." The stage was set. The world was watching. And behind the scenes, insiders whispered that a second leak, far more dangerous, was already scheduled to drop. No one knew who had it. No one knew when it would surface, but everyone knew one thing. This was no longer just rap beef. It was war. Within 24 hours, hip-hop was unrecognizable. It wasn't about music anymore. It was about loyalty, revenge, and legacy. Every artist, influencer, and fan had chosen a side. But deep in the chaos, one question echoed across the internet. What's in the second leak? Rumors swirled like wildfire. Some said it was a full conversation between 50 and Jim from years ago. Others claimed it was evidence of an actual betrayal, a business move so ruthless it could ruin careers. Then, out of nowhere, an anonymous Twitter account named @WhistleCityRecords dropped a 10-second teaser video. The caption read, "Tonight, 8 p.m. EST. The world will finally hear the truth." The video showed nothing but static until, for a single frame, the faces of both 50 Cent and Jim Jones flashed across the screen. Followed by the words, "The call." The internet lost its mind. Fan pages went into countdown mode. Reaction channels prepared live streams. Even mainstream media tuned in, Fox, Complex. And the Shade Room all posted, "Something big is coming." But when 8 p.m. hit, the internet didn't just break, it shattered. The leak began with 50's unmistakable voice. Calm, calculated. "I told you not to play with me," he said. Jim's voice replied, strained, defensive. "You think you own everything? You think you can scare me?" The sound of laughter followed. But then the mood shifted. 50 said, "You made a mistake. You've talked to the wrong people." There was a pause. Then Jim said something that made the entire internet freeze. "You wouldn't even have that show if it wasn't for me." Silence. Then 50's cold reply, "You signed that paper. You gave it away." And then click. The call ended. It was barely 30 seconds long, but that snippet was enough to ignite an inferno. Fans dissected every word, every breath. He signed what? Was 50 threatening him? What paper? Theories multiplied by the second dot. Then came the biggest twist yet. A former G-Unit associate went live on TikTok, claiming to know exactly what 50 meant. "That paper," he said, eyes darting. "It was real. It's about ownership. He gave up creative rights years ago, but he didn't know it at the time." Suddenly, this wasn't just gossip. It was about betrayal on a $1 million scale. If true, Jim Jones had unknowingly signed away control over something massive. Maybe a show concept, a project, or even a name. Meanwhile, Jim was spiraling. He went live again, pacing, furious. "They lying on my name. He can't take what's mine," he yelled. "If you want to talk paperwork, I got mine too. And when I post it, y'all gonna see who really got played?" His energy was pure chaos. At one point, he threw his phone across the room. Viewers heard glass shatter. Someone off camera said, "Bro, chill. They watching." Jim just glared and said, "Let 'em watch." Within an hour, that clip had 2 million views. Hashtags #LetEmWatch and #Papergate were everywhere. Then, out of nowhere, a new audio file surfaced. It was grainy, but the voices were unmistakable to men talking about a script deal. The names Curtis and Jimmy were mentioned. One voice said, "If he don't sign, we can't move forward." The other replied, "He won't even read it. He trusts me." That single line, "He trusts me," turned the entire internet upside down. Fans said it was proof of manipulation that 50 had allegedly played Jim Jones years ago to secure creative rights. But then, Curveball 50 himself posted a cryptic video laughing in his car, saying they always forget to read the fine print. The world went nuts. Some called him a genius businessman, others called him a villain. But one thing was certain. The paper wasn't just symbolic. It was real. And someone just dug it up. An insider from Def Jam, using the pseudonym LX7, leaked a blurry photo of what looked like an old contract. The heading read, "Project Harlem Nights Joint Concept Agreement 2009. At the bottom, 2 signatures. Curtis Jackson. James Jones. The entertainment world froze. That name, Harlem Nights, matched the rumored working title of an early version of Power. Within hours, journalists connected dots. 50's Empire and Power era had always been shrouded in mystery. Now it looked like Jim Jones had been part of its early creative spark. Fans screamed betrayal. Others screamed genius. But then more chaos. Jim posted an old photo, him and 50 together, smiling in a studio. Dated 2009. The caption read, "He said it was a collaboration. Guess that was a lie too." Celebrities couldn't stay quiet. Cardi B tweeted, "This some real movie-level beef. Who's writing this?" Meek Mill posted, "Contracts don't lie. People do." Even Drake liked a tweet saying 50 moves like a chess player. Jim just realized he was a pawn. That like alone became a headline. Meanwhile, Jim disappeared. No posts, no stories. Fans panicked. Then, 2 days later, he reappeared on a podcast. The host tried to stay neutral, but Jim snapped halfway through. "I don't regret nothing," he said. "He want to play lawyer, play God, whatever. I'm from the streets. We handle things different." Then came the breakdown. Jim took a deep breath, looked into the camera, and said, "I called him. I tried to make peace." "You know what he said?" He said, "Too late for that." His voice cracked. The host froze. Viewers watched, speechless. As Jim Jones, usually all swagger and control, wiped tears from his face and whispered, "I made him." The clip went viral in seconds. #JimBreaksDown trended for 48 hours straight. Fans debated whether it was guilt, fear, or strategy. But the drama didn't stop because that night, another insider message dropped. This time, it wasn't a recording. It was a text exchange supposedly between a well-known music executive and 50 himself. "Exec, you really gonna release part 2? 50. He started it. I'm just finishing it. Exec, the world's not ready for that one. 50. Then they better get ready." Within minutes, blogs screamed that part to refer to an unreleased track, the same one rumored as Harlem Confessions. But this time, insiders claimed it wasn't a song, it was a video. A Joe Minute expose allegedly including phone calls, unseen footage, and receipts. Jim's camp went silent again. Fans said lawyers got involved. But silence only made things worse. Because that's when the third leak hit the internet. Someone, no one knows who, dropped a 30-second snippet on Twitter. A dimly lit room, security cam footage, dated 2010. Two figures, one clearly 50 Cent. The other appearing to be Jim Jones, arguing. No audio, just body language. 50's posture, cold, commanding. Jim's hands moving wildly. And then -50 slams a folder on the table, points, and walks out. Freeze frame caption, "This is where it all started." The video racked up 20 million views overnight. Everyone demanded answers. Journalists begged both camps for statements, but neither said a word. Then, out of nowhere, 50 posted one last cryptic tweet. He thinks it's about a show. It's not. It's about trust. Fans were left spinning. Was this all about business? Or something deeper, betrayal between brothers, maybe even family? Rumors began swirling of a final leak, one so explosive that even major platforms might not allow it online. Some insiders hinted it involved private recordings that could expose everyone involved. Others claimed both 50 and Jim had been warned to stand down. But the internet doesn't sleep, and the darker the silence grew, the louder the whispers became. Then, late one night, a journalist from The Source posted a single tweet. "Tomorrow, everything changes." The world held its breath. Would 50 finally expose the truth? Would Jim strike first? No one knew, but everyone knew what was coming next. The truth bomb that could end careers, rewrite history, and make this the most legendary feud hip-hop had ever seen. And when that clock struck midnight, the third and most dangerous leak didn't just hit the internet. It detonated. When the third leak finally dropped, it didn't just break the internet, it melted it. Servers crashed. Streams froze. The most explosive moment came 6 minutes in. Jim on a phone call yelling, "If he wants it, he can take it, but I'm getting my cut." Then another voice replied, deep, calm, and ice cold, "He already took it, Jim." That single exchange hit like a sledgehammer. Within minutes, hashtags, hashtag, he already took it, and hashtag 50 warning flooded every platform. But then came the part no one expected: a recorded conversation between an unnamed executive and someone fans believed to be 50 himself. Exec. He doesn't. No, we've already filed. 50 heel. Find out when the check clears. Exec. He's gonna lose. 50. That's the idea? The silence after that was deafening. Viewers couldn't believe what they were hearing. Was this real? Was this edited? Or had someone just uncovered proof of one of the coldest power plays in music history? Jim's response was instant. He went live, shaking, pacing, eyes red. That video, fake. He screamed. AI voices, deepfakes, whatever. I ain't never said that. They trying to destroy me. But midway through the rant, a voice in the background whispered, "Bro, they got the emails." Jim froze. The look on his face said everything. 2 minutes later, he ended the live. Then he deleted every post on his page. The silence that followed was worse than the chaos. It was the kind of silence that makes the internet feel haunted. Fans begged for a statement. Celebrities started calling it the fall of Harlem. Even power players Diddy, Rick Ross, and Snoop started posting cryptic reactions. Ross wrote, "When you play with lions, don't be surprised when you get mauled." Snoop just posted a thinking emoji and a bag of popcorn. And 50. He didn't say a word. No tweet, no video. Just a single Instagram story, a black background with the words, "He's still breathing." That's mercy. That post got 5 million views in 10 minutes. People couldn't tell if it was a threat, a joke, or something darker. Blogs ran headlines like 50 Cent declares digital war and Jim Jones vanishes after leak. But nobody was ready for what came next. A verified hacker collective calling themselves 404 Unit claimed they had been hired to retrieve files from a private entertainment server. They dropped one final file, labeled the message.mp4, and disappeared. The video was short, only 2 minutes, but it was pure chaos. It opened with 50 sitting in a dark room, staring straight into the camera. His expression, unreadable. Then he spoke. "Everybody want to play victim until the receipts come out. But here's the truth. I never started this. I finished it." He leaned closer. "And I'm not done." Then static. The screen glitched. And a new clip appeared. A voicemail from Jim Jones to an unknown contact. His voice cracked. "I messed up, bro. I shouldn't have said what I said. He's serious. He's not gonna stop." The call ended. The screen went black. Then the words appeared. "Warning delivered." The internet exploded. Fans screamed. Journalists lost their minds. It was like the entire world was watching a digital apocalypse unfold in real time. Every platform crashed under the weight of theories. Some said it was an elaborate promo for a documentary. Others swore this was the realest feud ever recorded. Conspiracy threads popped up claiming entire networks were suppressing the truth. But then the unthinkable happened. YouTube took the video down. All copies, all re-uploads, gone within hours. When people tried to repost, accounts got flagged. That only made things worse. The hashtag they deleted it went viral. Fans demanded answers. What was so dangerous about the message that even major platforms couldn't keep it online? Meanwhile, industry insiders whispered about the fallout. Leaked emails, supposedly from a major streaming service, circulated, warning executives to avoid association with ongoing conflict between Jackson and Jones. It was official. The beef had gone nuclear. And then, Jim Jones resurfaced. A single video appeared on his story at 2:13 a.m. He was sitting alone in a car. Hoodie up, rain hitting the windshield. "I ain't no victim," he said quietly. "But if something happened to me, y'all know who did it?" Then he looked into the camera, dead serious, and whispered, "He warned me." That was the last post he made. His account went dark. Fans panicked. Rumors spread that he'd gone into hiding. Others said he was negotiating behind closed doors. 50 still said nothing. But a day later, billboards started appearing in New York. Black background, white text. Power always wins. No logos, no sponsors, no credits. People knew it was him. The symbolism was too perfect to 50 reclaiming dominance, not through music, not through words, but through silence and spectacle. The city itself became his stage. By now, fans were fully divided. Half called 50 a legend, a mastermind who'd outplayed everyone. The other half saw him as the villain of the century. And in the middle of it all, whispers of a final drop spread, something scheduled for Friday at midnight. Allegedly titled The Warning, full tape. But when the clock hit midnight, nothing. No drop. No video, just another message from 50's account. Y'all not ready for that one yet? People lost it. Comment sections filled with fire emojis, theories, rage. Was he holding it back on purpose? Waiting for Jim to respond? Or was it all part of a bigger plan, a rollout for something no one could predict? And then, as if to answer every question and none at all, 50 posted one last clip, him standing on a rooftop overlooking Manhattan, the city lights flickering behind him. He looked straight into the camera and said, "I told him once." That was the warning. The next one's the lesson. Fade to black. No outro. No context. Just silence. The internet hasn't recovered since. Every few hours, someone swears there's a new version of the message floating around. Fans claim to hear hidden audio in 50's Instagram lives. Others insist Jim's team is preparing their own counterleak. Nobody knows what's real anymore, and that's exactly how 50 likes it. Because now, this isn't just a feud. It's folklore. A digital ghost story. A legend written in leaks, whispers, and deleted files. And the scariest part? Every source says one thing in common. There's still one file left. A final message that hasn't been released. Yet no one knows what's in it. No one knows when it'll drop. But the insiders all say the same thing. When it does, it won't just end the feud. It'll end careers, and if you've made it this far, you already know this isn't just another celebrity story. This is history unfolding in real time. The lines between rumor and reality are gone, and every second that passes, another piece of this explosive puzzle surfaces online. The question isn't if the final leak drops. It's when, and when it does, you don't want to be the last to know, because once the truth hits, the light names will fall. Reputations will crumble, and the internet will never be the same again. 50's warning wasn't just aimed at Jim Jones. It was a message to everyone watching in this game. Silence is strategy, power is timing, and the next move decides everything. So if you're still watching, if your heart's pounding and your screen feels like it's about to catch fire, hit that like button right now. Don't just watch history, be part of it. Drop a comment below with what you think the real story is. Whose side are you on? Did 50 just execute the most calculated revenge in music history? Or did Jim Jones get caught in a game he never agreed to play? And most important, let's subscribe, turn on notifications, and stay locked in. Because the next video might not just explain what happened. It might show it. The leaks are spreading, the tension's boiling. And trust me, you do not want to wake up tomorrow and see that the internet moved on without you. This is more than gossip. This is the warning before the storm. And the storm is coming. Warning before the storm. And the storm is coming.